Hey everybody, Mature Simmer here. So we're over here in Willow Run Airport where we last left you. Just getting our plane ready to go. Weather's not great. I think I'm going to walk around the other side of the plane because obviously we got a bit of a problem with how close we are to the hangar. Hopefully it won't be a problem getting off the ground, but we'll see. We don't have collisions on normally just because of scenery problems and stuff like that. That's common in flight sim. Let's see. Like it's blinking the wrong thing, so we are going to be heading this time for our two legs that are going to be the most challenging, I think, of the season, because we are heading to Mexico, and then obviously we're heading back from Mexico. So going to be about a little over 1,600 miles probably by the time it's all said and done. Maybe even longer. The approach into Mexico City is a little bit roundabout that we have, but we were here for the Firekeepers Casino 400. Denny Hamlin was the victor there. Weather today not so great as we get ready to leave, but let's fire things up, get things going, and first thing I need to get the flight plan in. Alright, so a bit lengthy. Just trying to make sure I pick what I've already set up in everything else. So it was in Gaja. Oh, I think I'll just click on it here and then we won't have to guess. Inaga, I think is what it is. There we go. And then we're going to have the approach ILS Z. So hopefully that will work.
System test. Okay.
All right. So there we go. We're going from Ukten. We're going to add that in. And then that will get us what we need to get us into runway 5. I should be able now to export. Load is the active flight plan. Alright, and I need a good amount of fuel, as one might expect. So let's see. Where do I... So yeah, it's not bringing up what I want. I need the aircraft. That's what I need. Flight performance, mass and balance, fuel, pounds. So we need about 13,000 pounds just to be safe, although I don't know. I'm half tempted to I do not want to be redoing this flight, so I may just fill it the entire way here. Load the aircraft. Alright, so just making sure. Yep. Alright, so now that everything's set there, I'm going to get the APU started, as that will help with everything else. And then we will get ourselves going pretty quickly here. Anti-collision, recognition pulse. We've got 2972 for our barometer, so definitely lower barometric pressure than normal by quite a bit. We'll get our standby turned on, get that set. Whoops, far too far. Alright, flight director, VNav, nav. Let's get our call in. Whoops, I don't think I've tuned my radio yet. So, looks like we just have center, really, so we'll get that. 135,375. Oops. Why is it 135,375? There we go. All right. Will Iran, Walker 4021, requesting clearance to Mexico City.
1 second while I grab the paperwork.
All right. I'm sure that's going to take them a bit of time. In the meantime, we're going to get ourselves... I hate how that lines up.
Walker 4021, cleared to Mexico City via the Sanders 3 departure. Then is filed. Climb and maintain 4,000. Expect flight level 38010 minutes after departure. Departure on 132.35 squawk 4242.
Cleared to Mexico City via the Sanders 3 departure, then is filed. Climb and maintain 4,000. Expect flight level 38010 minutes after departure. Departure on 132.35 squawk 4242. Walker 4021. Four two. We're going to enter. That should work. It's taken a really long time to come back here.
Spirit 891, descend and maintain flight level 200.
I mean, we did. It does show me as reading back, so we should be okay. Okay, getting my stabilizers in. We have the one engine running. Get the next one going. But, yeah, I mean, it's showing 1578, but because of the roundabout approach and who knows what kind of weather we're going to get into and so forth, I'm just not sure. There isn't much in between that I can see, so I think we'll be fine. We're flying at 38,000 feet, so we want to be at 4,000 is where we were cleared. Should be good. Alright. Should be able to get our flaps down. Alright. Bunch of small little planes heading out. You know, that's kind of what we're doing, is using our longitude. So, again, wingtip in the building. I am just hoping I'm not going to get caught and then not be able to move. If I am, I don't know, I might try to warp to the runway, but I don't know that it's going to let me do that because I've already started my engines. But let's see. So 119975 is ground. So I technically probably should have called in with that. We'll run ground. Walker 4021 ready for taxi. Runway 23.
Walker 4021, Willow run ground, taxi to runway 23 via Zulu, cross runway 27, then Golf 2, Golf cross runway 23, then Alpha.
Runway 23 via Zulu, cross runway 27, then Golf 2, Golf, cross runway 23, then Alpha, Walker 4021. So yeah, that's easily said, right? Goodness gracious. All right. Okay. Because yeah, we're at the corporate hangar, which obviously is where we'd want to be. But let's disengage and get moving. And again, hopefully we don't have any difficulty here. It looks like it's gonna let us go. It's not like yanking us back. At least not yet. I would think the wingtip is clear now. I think it's just really slow because I've got my nose gear pulled way over because I just want to swing here. But that is where we want to go. So there we go. Leaving Willow Run here. Oh, slowed it down a bit much. Yeah, trying to fly this, honestly, early in the week, just in case I have problems, but just the first day I have, because I'm like, these are long legs. Flight time's right around 4 hours, and I'm not sure if that includes my circuitousness around Mexico City. So, might be close to 4.5, 5.
Taxiway Delta waiting for clearance to enter the ramp.
But we should.
Delta Tornado 892 Tango Oscar.
Is there something across the way? Yeah, okay. Alright. I'm like, it looked like it was just dark, but it is. And I've already gotten crossing approval, so it's probably a quiet airport.
Requesting taxi instructions for takeoff.
But I just want to kind of get up in the air and get down. So this will probably, these might be pretty short because I don't know that I'm going to keep with you very long.
Ready to copy IFR clearance to Kilo Alpha Papa November with
I'm like,
information
have we
X-ray.
lost our direction arrows? No, there they are. Alright, and we'd already be stopping for 23 there. That's interesting. Yeah, this is a marked out runway, and on the charts it actually shouldn't even be extending this far, which is kind of interesting. So that was Golf 2 that we exited across with. We are now on Golf. Then we're going to be crossing runway 23, which is our takeoff runway. So we'll go over, and then it's basically having us cycle back. I mean, we're probably okay. We could have probably just short taken off there, but so this is Golf, and then Alpha 1. So there's really, I mean, it didn't technically tell us Alpha 1. Alright, I got confused. They thought that was it, but looking at my progress on the chart, I need to kind of go out here. Oh, no, I don't. So that was it. Gotta love it. So it moves a little slower than you'd like for things. Come on. Ay, ay, ay. Alright, yes, there it is. I really didn't think that was it, but it clearly is. And now it's a little more clearly marked. I just realized again, doing a bad job. Don't have my taxi lights on. Yeah, this almost, I mean, again, these are so dark and odd looking. They must look like they've like just mowed the grass down and you're still like rolling on the grass, but so we're going up here, and then we're going around. There is a tower here, but yeah, there just wasn't a clearance. But I could have, like on VATSIM, we'd give the clearance on from ground. So guess we'll hold here. Alright, 12575. 125275, sorry. Transfer, alright, and then departure is likely going to be center, so that's because there is no departure specifically.
Skyhawk 542, Alpha, X-ray hold, short of runway 25, traffic on final.
So 13.
Holding short of runway 25, Skyhawk 542, Alpha X-ray.
375. We'll enter that. All right.
Contact departure for Sierra Bravo. Have a good day.
Oh, no, there is departure.
Vision Jet 4 Juliet Lima. You are not cleared to take off. Advise when ready to copy a phone number for possible pilot
132.
deviation.
Oh boy, someone
Meridian
did something
63
wrong.
Echo contact departure.
Alright. Willow Tower, Walker 4021, runway 23, ready for takeoff.
Walker 4021, Willow Run Tower, runway 23, winds 225 at 5. RNAV Jules, cleared for takeoff.
RNAV Jules, cleared for takeoff, runway 23, Walker 4021. Really should say the runway first, but... Alright, so we're good. But yeah, I'm just gonna get airborne, and then we're gonna, you know, probably stop pretty quickly. But I'll let you guys see my messy takeoff. It's just hard to get to the auto throttle in this plane and do so in a way that isn't like fumbling around. Alright, so let's see. We're going to do follow own ship. I'm zoomed in a lot, but we'll back up. Alright, so finally onto the runway. Very busy runway. I guess that's good for any airport, right? Alright, and now we go. So I should be able to engage the auto throttle at this point. Whoops, it did not take it. Maybe it did. I don't know. Why is it not? I normally expect to see AT, but I wonder if I can't do that when I'm still rolling, because I see TO, but... Alright, what are we doing here? Like, the flaps are set right and all, but... Okay, I didn't want a hold fail. I wanted auto throttle. Okay, there we go. Now I should be able to do autopilot. And it should do its thing, and it already told us to go to Jules, so... Alright, we'll get wheels up. I'm like, why are we not climbing? Alright, is this whole thing not working? There we go. I'm like... We're gonna end up in the ground before we even leave. But anyway, the airport's back there. Contact departure, Walker 4021. Departure, Walker 4021 with you.
Walker 4021, Detroit departure, radar contact, climb and maintain flight level 280, direct Sanders.
Climb and maintain flight level 280, direct Sanders, Walker 4021. Okay, 280. So there we go. But I think we're in, yeah, we're in the clouds. It's not terrible, but I'm sure we'll break through pretty quickly. You can see some blue up there, so. But climbing at a good clip. We'll put our flaps away, that will help. It's interesting that the angle of attack decreases, although I suppose you'd have more lift with the flaps down, but either way. So it's getting it up. Well, it's also trying to get it up to 250 is what it's doing. Now that we have flaps down, and then it's gonna begin the climb at that point. So there we go. Now we're nose up again. Just, yeah, in this plane, it's so challenging to see a whole lot. Because you're kind of right there. But at this point, yeah, we're up in the air for quite some time. So I'm going to go ahead, and now that we're stable and just proceeding, I'm going to go ahead and take the flight, and I will get you back here when we're getting close to Mexico City. We'll see, maybe we'll journey around the flight or the city together as we go in. We'll see what the weather looks like when we get there. But I will talk to you in a bit. Alright, we are back. We are here. It's descended a little bit. I think it went ahead and descended before we went on to the arrival, and then it realized, oh my goodness, I have forever to go, because you can see here, you know, we've got a pretty big loop, as we saw. You know, that's going to cut some distance off, but so anyway, we're down to 30. We're getting close. Yeah, there we go. We hit top of descent again, because I had seen there was a, and now in theory bottom of descent is there, but we'll see. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to look at this descent profile, because I want to see what kind of restrictions, if any, there are. There aren't any. So if I look at the other piece, let's see, we need to be, because again, the other issue is Mexico City is, the airport's at like 8,000 feet.
Descend flight level 270,
Descending flight level 270. Walker 4021.
Okay. So I'm dialed in lower than that, but that's fine. I don't understand. Is there a... because there appears to be some restriction there. Oh, I see. MX 751 is 270. So that's why. But we're going to be there literally in a few miles, so there are a few restrictions. MX 759 is 18,000, and alright, and then I see Almas is 14. So yeah, now you can see we're down to 18. That's the next point, but that's this one. So I've got all that distance. And Mexico Control really hasn't changed anything, so that's not great. But anyway, what I was going to say is Mexico City is at about, the airport's just below 8,000 feet, so we're also not going down as low as we have been recently. We're at a higher level here. So I think the first point when I looked at the arrival, MX 901 is 9,700, and then 8,900, and again the fields, I guess it's actually at 7,200, but you know, but that is, you know, about 10 miles from the field. We're barely under 10,000 feet.
Bravo Charlie, climb and maintain 10,000.
Climbing to 10,000, November 672, Bravo Charlie.
But we're gonna keep going. If Say Intentions wants to yell at us, so be it, but I am not gonna blow a flight that took this long because I can't get on the ground. So alright, let me look, get myself set. Okay, 3002, I need, I forget how I change the PFD on this. Yeah, that won't let me do it. It's not clickable there. Because, yeah, 3032. Let me just see what that is. QNH 3032 is HPA. Let's see. Or wait, 3032, so never mind, that's staying here. I don't have to change it, so Mexico's still using the same thing. But again, because we're so far up in elevation, so again, we're going to dial this in. It's going to put things too high until we cross over, but and yes, where there's some mountains that we come into. So yeah, there's just a lot kind of going on with that. Actually, 755 is 18,000, so yeah, I'm surprised that it hasn't asked us to go down, but then we stay at 18 as we run around the turn, and then we start descending from 759 to Almas. We go down 4,000 at that point, but we obviously have some mountain ranges that we're dealing with here. But yeah, 755 is 4 miles away. But, you know, a little bit here and there. But we're basically kind of going around and heading in that space there, I think. Quite a ways south. We may not even really be able to see it. I mean, because, you know, it's telling us we're 30 miles away, but we're doing a really big turn around here. So now if I change this, yeah, now we're at 18.5. And we're also supposed to be down to about 230, which it does have that restriction, and then at Almas we should be down to 210. But yeah, 8 miles, but we're basically going to stay at 18 for a bit here.
United 771, contact approach on 126.45.
Because you can see it's put a top of descent on there.
United 771.
So in about 2.5 minutes. But like right now we're still semi going away. I mean, and we'll get closer and then we'll go away a little bit on the arrival, the way it flies us. So I don't recall. Yeah, I think it's the range here. So there we go. If I do that, we'll be able to see a little better. That changes it to 25 nautical miles at the arc, so I'm basically looking at 50. I mean, I honestly should probably go down a little bit more so we get a really good view. But you can see partially why it's keeping us up, because, you know, there's a lot going on. I think we're basically going to kind of head down toward the valley there, so you can see we're turning again. Now we're going to 757, which, yeah, we're not very far, and then we're going to go to 759 with another turn. So there we go. Now that's 9 miles, but we're probably just continuing the turn. Yeah, it's not going to actually go there and then make a really sharp turn, so. And then we'll get the top of descent. And then our next restriction should be 14,000. but I think to Almas is going to be like 30 nautical miles or something. Although, I mean, it says we're only 33 away, but that just doesn't seem right, honestly. Well, we're actually coming in partially closer to Almas, so that would make sense, actually, I
Walker
guess.
4021, contact Mexico Control on 128.5.
Switching to Mexico Control on 128.5, Walker 4021.
So, at least some decent weather here, so we're not going to have any problem seeing things, I would think. Although, I mean, obviously we've got some puffy clouds, but yeah, we've still got a lot of turn, a lot of curve.
Afternoon, maintaining 8,000 feet.
Walker 4021, Mexico Control identified. Bienvenido Mexico QNH 1007.
Really? 1007? That's not at all where we're at, but...
Walker 4021, Mexico Control descend altitude 12,000, QNH 1007.
Because 1007 is...
QNH 1007, Walker 4021.
Yeah, 1007 is 2909 or 2. There's no conversion. I'm not sure that's right, but... Alright, I'm gonna get the landing meter up.
632 Alpha Bravo, Squawk 5260 ident. Squawking 5260 and ident Bonanza 632 Alpha Bravo.
Alright, we're gonna get flight level change. Now, it didn't drop to 210 yet, so that's interesting. And I don't know, I mean, it just may not be in the say intentions information. Yeah, see, because it keeps kind of lining itself up there. Trying not to descend too fast. But Almas is only 8 miles away, and we're supposed to be at 14. Alright, let me switch to my approach plate. And like I said, until we get to MX 901, and that's going to be the issue because we need to be down.
Walker 4021, contact Mexico. Approach on 119.75.
Switching to Mexico approach on 119.75, Walker 4.
Now if I change this, does it... Yeah, it does, so... Alright, I'm gonna go to what they said, which would be that, because that...
Mexico approach, Walker 4021, afternoon. Descending through 16,000 feet down to 12,000.
Walker 4021, Mexico approach identified. Quetal, Mexico. QNH 1008. Expect the ILS X-ray runway 5 right approach into Mexico.
Expecting the ILS X-ray runway 5 right approach into Mexico.
Well, we're using
Walker
Zulu, so
4021.
that'll be close enough.
Walker
So
4021, descend altitude 900, turn right heading 200 vectors for the ILS runway 5 right approach.
Descend altitude 9,900. Right heading 200 for vectors to the ILS runway 5 right approach. Walker 4021.
okay, I think it's trying to get down to 210. Alright, I need it. Whoops, that's not what I want. That's gonna slow me up and screw me up. I do not want to load Navigraph charts.
4021, descend altitude 9,000.
Descending to 9,000. Walker 4021.
Alright. And again, we're supposed to be at 9,700, so this is a lot lower. But, okay. We'll go with it. It did lower me to 210, by the way, so I do see that. Gonna go ahead and get my landing lights on, because we are gonna need that. And I think we're now turning toward by Uchten. We're gonna have a descent, top of descent there, although it keeps moving out because we're descending, but that's okay. I'd rather be down early than down too late. Alright. So again, top of descent coming up. It should engage soon.
United 540 traffic alert at your 3 o'clock. 5 miles, same altitude.
So
Advise when in
we're going to go there, and then we're going to
Looking for the
turn
traffic.
left.
United 540.
And basically come in. We're not quite straight across from the airport, but just about. So a lot going on here. Alright. And once we turn on here, we can start doing the approach and glide slope and stuff. Alright, but we're
Walker
just
4021, turn right heading 225.
Turning right, heading 225, Walker 4021.
Alright, so we're going by Sutas. Alright,
Walker
he's
4021,
continuing.
5 miles from Charlie Foxtrot 05 Romeo. Turn left heading 125, descend altitude 8900 until established on the localizer. Cleared for the ILS runway 5 right approach.
Alright, so we
5
are going
miles
to
from
approach.
CF05 right, turning left heading 125, descending to 8,900 until established on the localizer. Cleared for the ILS runway 5 right approach.
Alright,
Walker
at this point, we're
4021.
going to get everything set. We're lowering our gear. We're putting our flaps down. Because, yeah, right now it looks like
Walker
the glide
4021,
slope is
contact
below
Mexico
us.
Tower on 118.55.
Switching to Mexico Tower on 118.55. Walker 4021.
Alright, so it's going to get itself to 140. I'm hoping we're going to catch the glide slope.
Mexico Tower, Walker 4021. Afternoon, we're established on the ILS approach for runway 5 right.
No, we're not. What are you saying, Sandra?
4021, Mexico Tower, winds 125 at 6. Runway 5 right, cleared to land.
Runway 5
Alright,
right,
well, there we
cleared to
go.
land. Walker 4021.
Alright, we're on the localizer finally, so now we're established, but... Alright, we need to get down there. Like, really fast. Okay, we are catching it. Come on. Alright, clearly this is not gonna work here, so I'm gonna get ourselves down because this thing ain't gonna do it.
Sync rate. Sync rate.
Yeah, I know about the sync rate, but I'm supposed to be there. So there, now we'll autopilot. We'll re-engage. Or not.
Bonanza 64, Foxtrot Alpha 2,
Alright.
cleared for takeoff runway 29.
So it won't re-engage the
Runway 29,
autopilot.
Bonanza 64, Foxtrot Alpha 2.
Or maybe it's... No, it's not.
Departure 129er,
So-
0.1, United 3 Alpha Zulu.
Alright, so... Gonna play with this. Alright, let me line myself up because I think I'm in a weird position here. Alright. I can't see is the problem. Yeah, I know the auto throttle. So that didn't work out quite as nicely as I would have liked. Alright, we'll get ourselves there, but it's not going to be super pretty. So I'm sure our folks are not going to be super happy with us, because yeah, we're a bit low. Alright, and there's a long runway, so we'll bring it in gentle. Ooh, a little bounce. Ooh, hopefully we didn't get the 500. Alright. Alright. So we got that. Shut up. Now, I don't know which way I'm going to want to go. But you can see 74 or 6,900 feet. Yeah, this looks more like the GA, so get ourselves vacated.
Walker 4021, welcome to Mexico. Contact ground on 121.0.
Switching to ground on 121.0. Walker 4021.
We vacated the runway.
Mexico ground. Walker 4021, afternoon. We've cleared runway 5 right and are ready to taxi to the gate.
She's
Walker
so excited.
4021, Mexico ground. Taxi to S6 via Echo 2. Cross runway 23 right. Then Bravo, Sierra, Sierra, Bravo, Bravo. Good day.
Holy moly. Alright.
Taxi to Sierra 6 via Echo 2.
Let's see where it's
Cross
taking us.
23 right. Then Bravo, Sierra, Sierra, Bravo, Bravo. Walker 4021.
Alright. And we're only crossing the runway once, so I do assume it's going to park us over here somewhere. Yeah, it looks like we're going to the left, actually. Okay. Going a little bit quick for what we had. So yeah, this is a pretty long terminal. I've been to this airport multiple times. So it's showing 165 as my landing, so maybe the bounce didn't count as much, so that would be good. Because man, oh, that would suck to have to redo this because of that, but that is how flying works. Like, you still gotta be pretty good. Destroying the plane doesn't count, so.
Hawker 511 Hotel Alpha, proceed to holding point Charlie via taxiway Bravo. Proceeding to holding point Charlie via Bravo Hawker 511 Hotel Alpha.
So.
Ground Orion
A little weird shadow drawing
Orion
there, but
775, push and start approved. Contact apron on 119.999 for tug services.
so, man.
Taxi runway 23 left, yeah, Alpha Bravo. Hold short of 23 left, Orion
I guess we'll see where we end up, but man, we are going a long, long way here. I don't have the engines on that much, but we are flying. But it's straight, nobody's coming out, so that's okay. Yeah, we didn't get established kind of far enough out is the problem. Alright, guessing we're going to have to turn somewhere here, so I don't want to be going too fast. Yep, there we go. And then where? Alright, there, and then over to the left. Alright, Alright, and not sure if it's going to put us in one of these spots or if it's taking us a lot further away. I don't have a taxi map pulled up. I'm just letting it kind of send me where it needs to send me. Alright, so looks like we're gonna, I guess we'll sit up a bit so we can see. So in theory it's where that plane is, but obviously I can't. Couldn't really park there, but that's what it's got. So we're gonna pop ourselves there. We've got our flaps up. We'll go ahead and get our engines off. Oh, we can get our landing lights off and all that. Should have had our taxi lights on. I do a very poor job of that, especially on these, so a little more challenging. Alright, no flight directed, just making sure we don't have anything weird, that it somehow didn't give us credit, but it did. So we are officially here. Now again, the flight out of here is going to be 200 miles longer. So, and then we do still have long flights, but like this was our long, there's a couple, there's one that's longer. We got a over 2,000 mile flight at one point. I'm just kind of looking through everything. Yeah, that's it. But that one's a little bit away because we're leaving Sonoma. That's when we come from California. And then I think we're going all the way back to the East Coast. So we're literally flying coast to coast in the U.S. Going from Sonoma County Airport to Newcastle Airport. I think we're probably in Dover for the race there. And then we go from Dover to Indy. But for now, this was leg 17. That one is leg 22, so we're going to be in July by the time we're worried about that. But yeah, after this, we're going to be going to, I think we're going to Pocono, because it's Wilkes-Barre, Scranton.
I'm working on that clearance. Stand by.
And then we're flying back to Atlanta. So, but yeah. But basically, yeah, this leg, you know, these two legs, and then leg 21 and 22 are the long ones, and then we do end up back out in Phoenix or whatever it is, or maybe it's Vegas. Either way, we'll just follow the schedule. But so sorry for chatting while looking at the seat. I mean, not that people are constantly looking. I don't know why sometimes the reset doesn't work. But anyway, yeah, I think it was trying to put us in this spot, but we're still waiting. You know, say intentions traffic is still experimental, so they haven't released it in. I'm not testing it, but that then usually means you have this kind of a problem. But this was a big one to get done. Obviously next week will be a big one to get done too, but these are the ones I'm always worried about, because other flights that are a couple hours I can usually fit in anywhere, but when you're dealing with a 5 or 6 hour flight in total, like we had here, it starts to get a bit much. And since I'm trying to wait until after the race is over, like I really can't fly. I have to fly during the week at some point, and those long flights are difficult. But anyway, we are here for the, it would be what, June 15th race, right? Now I'm confused. Yeah, because the 8th was Sunday, 15th is next Sunday. So yeah, so this is June 14th, and tomorrow will be June 15th, and they'll be running the race down here in Mexico City. I'm sure our folks will enjoy that, because it's not a regular stop. It may become one now, but you know, before it's not a regular stop on the NASCAR circuit. But you know, we'll see how things go. But for now, I'm going to wrap things up. As always, if you've enjoyed this, haven't dropped a like, or are not a subscriber, please consider that. And I will see you next time.